My name is Michelle, and I am your garden coordinator here at Fresno American Indian Health Project. And today we will be talking about all things elderberry, specifically the blue elderberry. The botanical name is Sambucus ceruleae. It also can be known as Sambucus mexicana, and there are some other varieties as well, which we will find out later. One of the cool things about elderberry is it has a rich history that's known throughout the world, not just here in California. Of course, Native people used it for medicine, food, and also for musical instruments, flutes, whistles, and clapsticks. But also, Egyptian people kind of used it for skin complexion, for burns and scars. The Greeks have a history of calling it the medicine chest, and also using it for musical instruments and flutes. Folk medicine, they used elderberry for headaches, nerve pain, sometimes to help with dental pain. It just has a rich history throughout the world. Back in the Middle Ages, they used to use it as protection against witches. Much like in Catholic religion, we put the palms above the door and the cross. They would do that with the elderberry sticks and branches. They would make crosses and put them above their house, their doors to kind of protect against witchcraft. Denmark and places like that, they perceived elderberry as like a good spirit, while Germanic people, they perceived elderberry more of as like an evil spirit. So it has such a colorful history all around the world. Modern day and age, we use it for immune boosting properties. Since COVID, it's really spiked up in popularity, but us Native people have been using elderberry, to stay healthy. Since time immemorial. We've been doing it for thousands of years. I personally make syrup, but it has a variety of uses. A little bit about the plant itself. It is considered a large shrub or kind of small tree. They can get up to 20 to 30 feet tall and wide. They are winter deciduous, which means they lose all their leaves in the wintertime and are just sticks. Their flowering time is spring, and then sometimes in December, depending on the elevation. Here in the Central Valley, they start flowering down low at about March through April. You'll get the flowers here at the valley floor. And as you climb up the mountains into the foothills, we will get the flowers around May and into August. And then currently right now at Shaver Lake and a little higher, they are blooming, but they are starting to go to seed. So you can see it has a long bloom cycle as long as you follow them up the mountain. They can be considered deer resistant, but if the deer are hungry enough, the deer will eat anything. So there really is no plant that is 100% deer resistant. If they're hungry, they'll eat it. That's just how it works. So when it comes to the propagation of the elderberry bush, it does require a little bit of treatment. So this is the seed right here, and you can see it's just real small. What you have to do is, of course, collect the berries, and then once you have the berries, you kind of squish and remove the pulp from the seed. So all that good squishy pulp you can kind of set aside and use it for medicine later, and then you clean the seed. And after that, with the seed, then you want to put it in like a Ziploc bag with some very lightly moistured peat moss. It should feel damp, but not really moist. You don't want it super soaking, but just kind of a light moisture. And then you mix the seed in there and you put that in the refrigerator for about 3 months. And then after those 3 months, then you sow them into a propagation flat or trays, whatever your propagation preferences are. You can sow them, and then hopefully you'll start getting little sprouts. There is another way. My friend did say that his actually Chris Velez, he works with the San Joaquin or the Sierra Conservancy, the Sierra Foothill Conservancy, and he said the best elderberry that he got was from collecting bear scat that upon investigation of the scat, he saw that the seeds were in there, and so he sowed that. And because it's gone through the digestive tract of the bear, it kind of strips away that membrane and lets the seed become ready for sowing. Kind of speeds up that 3 months process. So kind of a little interesting way to propagate, but still great results. Well, as many of you know, in Native culture, elderberry is historically known for clapper sticks. You can also make flutes, whistles, and it also can be used as a dye. Here I do have some demonstrations of sticks. When you go to harvest the sticks for clapper sticks, it is the preferred method if you find some that have already been broke off and are dry and ready to go. It's really not the most ideal to cut the fresh sticks and use those. You definitely want them seasoned over for a year. This stick here, as I was collecting last year, I happened to accidentally break a branch, so I did bring it home with me, and so this one has been cured for just about a year now. This one I did find down in the wild. It was already broken off. So you can see the kind of the color difference and stuff, but they're both the same stick, the same type. So, and then it does have of course, elderberry has a rich history with medicine. So as you can see, so many tribes used it. Probably anywhere there was elderberry, I imagine those tribes used it. So, the Choctaw had dermatological aids, gastrointestinal aids, urinary aid. Kahula, they used it like a cold remedy. They also used it as the Furbridge, a gastrointestinal aid, laxative, pediatric aid, tooth aid, just all different kinds of cultures. We were all using the elderberry. Many used it for anti-diarrheal. So Lucianos used it as gynecological aid. So, just huge versatile. It's just a very versatile plant. So there are a few other elderberry species. There's the Sambucus racemosa, which is the red elderberry. There's also the black elderberry, which is the Sambucus nigra. There's also there's another variety of black elderberry that's a Sambucus racemosa var melancarpa, which is a kind of a crossbreed. And then there's another crossbreed of red elderberry. Traditionally the ones that we use are both the black and the blue, and here in the Central Valley, those are the two types that you mainly see about, is either the black or the blue elderberry. The day of the plant talk, I did a demonstration on how I make the syrup, and the syrup itself is versatile. So I made it and I use it more as like a medicine. So you should take it about a tablespoon a day, every day, to help prevent and fight the cold and flu season. If you are sick, I suggest taking 5 tablespoons a day, kind of upping it up. With the elderberry syrup itself, there's many things that you can do after you've made it. One thing that I could do is add a gelatin mix to it, and then pour it out on a cookie sheet, and then put it in the freezer. And so you made your own home gummies, vitamin gummies that you can take. After every batch of syrup, I keep the guts of the syrup of the batch, the elderberries, and I dry them and make them into a tea so that I can provide here for the community. The flowers are a huge medicine. Many times that one was preferred to use if you have fever. So if you're trying to break the fever, I would recommend doing the elderberry flower as opposed to the elderberry berries. And then from there, elderberry is historically used jams, jellies, tonics, tinctures, and of course the teas and the syrup. Another great plant that kind of goes with the elderberry is the gooseberry, and that same thing. You can make the jams and the jellies, and it's just phenomenal. If anybody's ever had elderberry jelly, they know what I'm talking about. It is delicious, and there's nothing better. So you can have your peanut butter and jelly sandwich and be giving yourself medicine at the same time. So that's pretty much all I have for you today. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you at October's plant talk, which will be on deer grass. Thank you.